Hello and welcome to Success Stories. And today we have Harshil Jain, who has passed the entire CS executive. Hello Harshil, welcome to Success Stories again.
Hi sir, thank you. Happy to be here again after passing the executive.
Okay, great. So before we go ahead, here is a small clip from the previous interview where Harshil had cleared one module.
I want to do something with companies. Company secretary was one of the best fields. Like CA, there were too many CS and I was not much interested in CA.
Okay.
So I thought CS was the best option to go. Like company secretary, I would be managing the company properly. So I wanted to take up that field.
So can you tell us a little bit about, are you studying degree, what course are you doing so that everyone understands?
Yeah, I am actually pursuing my BBA LLB along with the CS. It is a 5 year course which I am doing at JSS Law College. So along with CS, LLB is a very good combination. So just for my experience and knowledge, I have taken LLB. But I'll keep my main thing as CS and my profession will be as CS.
Very, very good. Yes, Harshil. So how do you feel coming back on Success Stories? And last time you had cleared one module. So now how is your feeling after going to professional?
I feel really great, sir. Like it was I thought it to be a very difficult task and I thought it would take more time to reach here. But it was actually not. I was eagerly waiting to come back here after finishing my second module and do an interview with you once more.
Great, wonderful. So if last time if you have watched the interview, you may know Harshil is doing his 5 years LLB in JSS Law College, and along with that he is doing CS, which itself is very great. So just to ask you one thing, like in your college, in your class, out of like 50-60 people, how many people are even trying to do this LLB with CS?
Yeah, actually it was not so common, it was not so prevalent when I started the college. It was just 2 students, me and one of my friends were pursuing. We had been doing the CS together. But actually after I've joined and after I have told my experience about doing CS, a lot of my friends have started to take up this, and many of them in my second year, many of them passed the the CSEET and are giving the executive module 1 or module 2 in the upcoming December exam.
Okay.
Like even my juniors are also motivated to do CS along with LLB.
Very good. So in fact, this whole in Success Story, whoever we do it, it is basically to motivate all the audience, whether you're doing BCom, LLB, that it is possible to do CS along with a full-time course. And BCom is a degree course, but LLB is a professional course, and LLB is quite challenging. So how do you manage, and what are the common subjects you have?
Yeah, well, I would last time I did say that LLB was a very easy task. So I would like to amend that statement. Like coming through LLB and after passing 2 years, being in the third year, I now realize that it was not as easy as it was in the first year, as the subjects are now becoming a little bit more competitive and the subjects are getting a little bit complex.
Yes.
But I would like to make a point that having CS as my background has been really helpful even in my LLB. So there are a lot of subjects which have a common criteria in the CS and LLB. For an instance, in this particular semester, I have jurisprudence, I have IBC. These are the 2 law subjects which have a lot of similarity in the CS. IBC, I have studied almost the whole part in the company law, I think in the part C.
Yes.
And jurisprudence is basically I have studied in JIGL, the JIGL subject. So it has been really helpful. How I get an overall background, like how should I approach the subject because of the CS background I have.
Okay. So before we go ahead, do you remember the marks which you got this time?
Actually, I'm not so sure, but I guess I got around 238. And I feel like it was a real improvement because last time I had scored 202 in module 1. But
238 is actually a very good marks. It's not easy to get. That is like 60% marks for every subject on an average. Now in these subjects, which subject for you was little difficult out of the 4?
Okay, I would not say difficult, but there were subjects which were quite challenging for me personally. It was EBCL. Because
syllabus is very vast.
Syllabus is very vast and it is a purely theoretical subject. So I am a math person or a numbers person, whatever you say, and I also scored exemption. What do we say that?
Exemption.
Yeah, exemption in 2 subjects. That is math, CMA and FM. So in those subjects, I scored around 65 or something. But CMA, EBCL was quite challenging because it was a purely theoretical subject and a very plain subject, and there were a lot of things to remember in that one subject.
Yes.
So that was one subject which I found challenging. But SLCM on the other hand, it has a very practical approach, and it was like a continuation of company law, which is my favorite subject. So it was not that hard. FM and FMCA and the other subjects were not so. It was really good because I did like doing with numbers.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Now, little bit about the subject like EBCL, which is little hard for you. How did you approach that? Like, what did you do for that? Anything different you did, or just like other subjects?
Yeah, the only thing which helped me to score like whatever I've scored in the EBCL was making my own notes. That is, I would like to give that one advice to every single student pursuing CS, that unless you make your own handwritten notes in all the subjects, you cannot actually remember it or memorize it.
You will not get the grip over
Yeah, and every act, every regulation, first you have to understand it. Before directly going to by heart it, first you must understand it, how it actually works. Then the task comes of by hearting it. So that was my go approach.
Very good. Now, one more very important question which many of our students have is that, sir, how do I do it? A lot of students are doing LLB, but they tell, sir, I will take CS after LLB, which is very difficult.
Very time consuming.
And you can't. So, how do you manage both? Because I know your college also, it's not a very easy structure and lot of homework, lot of assignments, and CS is a very challenging course. How do you manage?
That is there. I'll tell you the timings of my college. It starts from morning 9:30 to 4:10. So it's it's more than my school. So managing the time was the only pressuring task which I had. But the thing is, you have to sacrifice a few other things when your exams are near. I'm not telling to sacrifice the whole 6 months or whenever you are preparing, but at least in the last 3 months, before 3 months of your exam, you have to sacrifice certain things. You cannot go out to play more often. I'm not completely, but you have to manage your time. After 4:10, I just used to go home and rest up a little bit, 1 hour, 1.5 hours, and I would try to sit and study at again 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Oh,
and I was mainly a morning person, so most of my study was from morning 3 or 4 to until I go to college. So that's where I made my time to studying, which would not affect my college.
Very good. So here actually I want to make a point for everybody who is watching this. See, without hard work, you're really not going to get anything in your life. Most of the students who put comments in a YouTube channel are trying to find some shortcut, but it's not going to be possible. Like he said, one very important word, you have to compromise on some things, not for your entire life, but till the exam is there. So whoever is watching this, please realize that there is absolutely no substitute to hard work, and you will get the result. Now, how did you feel? Because see, now you are getting up at 3, 4 and studying so much. Your friends are playing, your neighbors are going around, all of that. So when that happens, do you feel I'm missing out, FOMO, anything is wrong?
Yeah, for one instance, we definitely get it in mind. I wish I was not doing that. I was going out with my friends. But we all realize that, yes, they are going out today. But tomorrow, if we have completed this and we are at some point, we would be going out at that time and enjoying our lives. So that keeps me motivating and thinking that my future is secure if I do my hard work now.
Excellent. So we also call that as delayed gratification. So ensure that you get all your joys after some point of time, and that in fact you will feel much more happier when that happens. And there's a very important word he just used just now, is about secure future. So for everybody who is watching this today, whether you do only CS, whether you do LLB CS or BCom CS, because it's a professional course, you are bound to be in high demand just because it's a professional course. And for someone like Harshil who is doing LLB plus CS, since I have also done it, I can tell you the combination is, they call it deadly combination, because it is so sharp that you are on par with even a National Law School student. In fact, you are better than them in many aspects relating to corporate law.
Yes, exactly. And we have a specialized knowledge in that.
Corporate law, governance, specialization and all of that. So now tell us a little bit about the subject which you scored very well, because it was MCQ paper.
Yes, yeah.
So how did you approach that?
So mainly the one subject was CMA and the other subject was FMSM,
Yes.
Financial and Strategic
Yes.
Management, in which I scored major marks. In one I scored around 67. I think it was FMSM, Financial Management and Strategic Management, and the other CMA I scored around 62 or 63.
So both you have got above 60, which is great.
Yeah, the two exemption papers, the two MCQ papers I've got above 60. So FMSM was, actually it was my good luck that when the exam was coming, I had the same subject in my LLB course during that semester. So it was just like a revision for me. FM subject was a whole new subject in my semester at that time. So I got a pretty rough idea of dealing with it. I got everything revised well and good. And mainly I practiced everything by writing. MCQs
This is what
yeah.
students, they feel MCQ means it is inky pinky ponky. It is not like that.
It is, and one more advice is that while attempting MCQ paper, please remember that it has negative marking. So you cannot
Attempt
take every
everything.
question and say that it might or it might not go through. Unless you have a 80% chance of getting it right,
Don't
please
attempt.
do not attempt it. Even in my paper, out of 100 questions, I did not attend even 90 or 80 of them. I strategically attended around 70 or 75 of them, which I thought would be correct. So that is the key of not scoring low. Because even if you get some questions right, because of the extra questions you have attempted,
Right,
you lose marks.
right, definitely.
That is the key to MCQ.
Very good. And now that you are in the CS professional, because let me tell you, even the audience, it is great because he is still in third year LLB, finished executive program. That is not a small achievement. And let me tell you, executive is easier than professional.
Okay. So
I'm sorry, executive is more
Yeah,
difficult
yeah.
than professional.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry.
that's what I heard.
Yeah, executive is definitely more difficult than professional, and professional is easier, is what I can always tell the students. So you have done the difficult part already, you are on the other side. So now we are in professional, so how are you looking forward to professional? What are your plans?
Yeah, I recently registered for the June exam. So after finishing my CS exam, I was like on a after finishing my executive exam, I've been on a vacation because it's like a real relief after you give the exam because of the hectic schedules and all of that. It's like a real relief. So I have to get things back online and I'll start pursuing and studying for the professional from as soon as possible, and I'll try to think of an approach to combat professional.
Okay,
Yes.
great. So that's really good to know. So finally, you have any suggestions for students? See, there are some students who are working and studying. Some are going for LLB or BCom and studying. Common complaint for everybody is we don't have time. But you have achieved it, Anshan. What do you want to tell all these people?
So it's not like whatever time you have, make that time useful. Like if you just have 8 hours of studying, like see in BCom and other courses, I'm not like saying it's easy, but the college timings are comparatively less. So you can, if you are doing BCom or BBA, you have plenty of time to manage CS because there is less college time, so you can concentrate on CS more. If you are working after work morning, I would like to focus that you make all of your studies in the morning, because after work coming home and then studying, it is really exhausting for the working people. Not for us, but it is really exhausting for the working people. So I would recommend that you make a morning study compulsory and every day without miss. If you wake up every day and study for at least 3 hours, wake up at 5, study till 8 or 8:30, it is very useful. The morning study is very useful, and then after coming
And
back
you are
to work,
completely
you have to-
fresh.
Yeah, that's what I
Nothing can beat that. Great. So I think that's a very good suggestion. Get up earlier than everybody else. So when everybody is sleeping,
You are
start
working.
studying and finish your studies, and you'll do it. And once again, we want to congratulate Harshil. And I was confident that last time only when he cleared, it was one of the interview where he was so cool and so calm, and he just like I did it with a breeze. So we were sure that okay, he'll definitely come back for the interview because he'll clear both the modules. So now the next challenge is we want you to come back again
Yes,
for
sir.
the CS professional, once you clear one more interview, we'll do.
I am wishing for the same, and I'll try my level best to come back within one attempt and again give
Sure,
a
I'm
good
sure
interview.
you will with all the right planning, and since
Yes,
you have
yes.
already know how to do it, I'm sure you can do it again.
Yes, sir. I hopefully, and with your guidance, I hope that I will clear it. I'm very confident that I will clear it in my first attempt.
Definitely, we are always there to guide everybody who's watching this. So please do let us know what you thought about this interview in the comments below. And I will see you in the next episode of Success Stories. And if you want to know anything more, we can always get in touch with us on Ekcel Academy. Thank you.